Hi guys, welcome back to the Talking Rangers YouTube channel for another post-match reaction. Sadly, it's not a victory. We're still waiting for one of those. But I'm delighted to be joined by Pblockscudze. What did you make of today's game?
First and foremost, hello, my fellow Oz.
The man's back in the building.
Do you know what? I'm 50-50 on it. On one hand, I would say a good point. Let's start with the positive, shall we? I'd take a point, start of the game, the fact that Stoke have been, on a bit of form themselves. It was highlighted on Sky throughout how they've kept, the most clean sheets at the moment. So for them to praise our defence, and not have, really anything from their attack, you take that as a positive. But from our side of things and us going forward, very disappointed. Apart from those two half chance, well, one really strong chance and one half chance, we didn't really offer a lot. We didn't create enough, in my view.
No, I completely agree. If we just start off with the running order, we started pretty brightly. Oh, we're getting a lot of echo through your computer, Scuds.
Are we? Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
No, it's all right.
Bear with.
Bear with. A few technical issues.
Oh, I've been out of the game too long, haven't I? So.
Well, anyway, thank you everyone for joining us. Very much appreciate it. Get any comments you want us to answer in this comment section, and we'll bring them up on screen. Just get started. We did start pretty brightly, I did think. We had plenty of corners in the first 5 or 10 minutes or so. Scott's struggling there a little bit.
Oh, yeah, I know what I can do. Right. If I do that.
Bear with QPR fans.
Hold on. Talk to me, mate. Talk to me.
Right, can you hear me now?
Okay, hold
Still
on.
coming out, I can see you.
If I did that. I don't know how to get... Sorry, lads and lasses.
We will get there, Oh, there we go. Sorted now. Right.
I just
we
can't...
started pretty brightly. Oh. Well, I'm going to quickly go through some of your comments. What have we got in here? Connor Tucker's in the building. The main man. Edward Vine. Mark's got to go. Stoke, a good team, but you needed 3 points to stay in the job. It's a tough one. I'm sure we'll be getting on to Warburton a little bit later. We'll run through the game quickly, kind of our review of that, what we made of it, and then we'll get on to the big matter of Warburton in or out. What have we got here? He has left. Let me just... Right. Let's get on to your questions. The stream runs on. We've got Ed Taylor. It's time to go. Let's have a look. What does Warburton say at half-time? We genuinely go from okay to absolutely DOS in the second half. No intensity or creativity whatsoever. So poor, got to go. Now, I don't know if you saw my take on Twitter. I was on the Second Tier podcast, and I said he had 2 games. This was the penultimate one to turn it around. I think after the next game, I mean, look, we kept a clean sheet today, which was quite rare for us, and I will take that. But I feel like that game was there for the taking. Scuds is now back in the building. Here he is. Right, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Right, we've got it.
All right, there we go. All right, let's get on. So we started pretty brightly. We had plenty of corners in the first 5 or 10 minutes. We put a lot of pressure on Stoke. I thought we did do quite well. One thing that really surprised me in this game was our fullback just looked much improved. I think one thing with Kakai that does my absolute nutting game on game is how we simply cannot cross the ball. His crosses are absolutely abysmal. I love everything about Kakai, but his crossing is not good enough. Now, one thing that Kane did do today was every time he got in that area, he put the ball into the box for Dykes to attack, which I think made quite an impact. What did you make about Kane's performance? I think he actually did quite well today.
Probably the opposite of what you think.
Oh, really?
I mean, only based on, it's more so in the second half when he had a few crosses, that he put in. They were straight down the keeper's throat. They weren't. I mean, there
The
was
second half
that
we
one.
struggled.
Sorry, in the second half, there was that one where there was a little nick. Oh no, that wasn't Kane that crossed it, was it? I think no, it was Ose. Sorry, but anything that Kane put into the box, it seemed to go straight into the keeper's hands, and I was just disappointed because so many times. I mean, the major thing for me was they're a big team. They're a very tall team. They're physically strong as well. So us pumping the balls into the air, it's a lot harder. Dykes on his own against basically their back four. For me, we needed to play it on the floor a bit more. But yet again, we just didn't. We just don't shoot. We're afraid to shoot.
No. Yeah, how can you score when you don't shoot? I think the problem is, I think Dykes the service team is abysmal. It's non-existent, and there seems to be like social distancing around in the Dykes. Nobody gets close to him. Every time he brings the ball down well, but nobody predicts. Nobody reads what he's trying to do. I think it must be the most frustrating job in the world being a QPR striker at the moment because.
Sorry, mate. Sorry, just butt in there, but I don't know if you noticed Did you notice in the first half how many times he's looking to the midfield and going push up, push up?
Yeah,
because we were sitting way too deep. And then when we was on the attack, you'd have Dykes in the middle, you'd have Adoma, and you'd have Ose, but all three of them are in the line together up the front. So as soon as that ball's come behind, there's no one there. There's like Carroll and Cameron are too far back. They're practically defenders. Which is something I've been a little bit frustrated for in a while now with this playing all these defensive type of midfielders. We've just where's that like backswing,
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I think that Cameral's a mixture of Cameron and Carroll there. Cameron's distribution towards the front is absolutely abysmal. He's putting Dykes in the channel. He's sending him wide. He's sending him away from goal where he needs to be. And a good comment from Jay Bakes. Dykes' chair, Bright say something on Willock, needs to be more narrow, so they can all pull off each other. So confusing watch them trying to interlink play. I think you're completely right. I think that front line is so disjointed. There's quality in there. They're all talented players, but like I said, I think disjointed is just kind of the word that sums it up at the moment. There's no interlinking play, and there was a couple of spells I think in the first half where he did put it on them early, where we had better pressure, better intensity, faster passing, and we made a good couple of chances. But it didn't carry on throughout the 90 minutes. The second half, we didn't really look like the side that started the game, and we're just really struggling it's that final pass in the final third that is just so poor every single time. We have the ball in, around our halfway line. We pass it along sideways, but we get on the edge of the box and we don't know what to do. Nobody knows what to do. We don't shoot. We sometimes, we pass it wide, put a poor cross into the box, and we just never look like we're going to score.
I mean, talking about going forward, I think you know who I'm going to talk about here, and some of the viewers probably have heard me talk about this guy before. But in Pblock, there's a lovely guy, John. His name is. He sits behind us, and he's always shouting out about going forward in a more comical way, shall we say?
Yeah.
I can imagine that guy is gone blue in the face tonight and for the last few games, because so many times you get the chance to move it forward, pass it forward but sideways, but no, we're passing it back. And I get we're trying to play this out of the back football, that nice little tippy tappy football, and we're great in most cases, but there are too many times now where we're not putting it forward, and then, like you say, we're getting to the edge of the box, and it's panic modes.
It's almost like, oh God, what do we do
pass?
Yeah,
Pass. We'll wait until the keeper comes out the goal, and then we'll just pass it into the net. It doesn't work like that nowadays.
No.
And I'm not being funny. We saw Chair against Millwall, didn't we? He hit a screamer.
Yeah.
I know he tried it a day, and I don't think he got the great.
It.
yeah, that one, and also the one in the first half where he just didn't get the right connection on it. But why are the players not trying it? They're talented enough.
No, I completely agree. A couple of people going on here about Cameron. I think Cameron's performance today was simply not good enough. He gets me frustrated. He can't find a forward pass when he should be playing the ball into the mid. We did look better against Brentford. Completely agree. I must say, what Faisal Patash is thinking now, he's seen the absolute howlers that Cameron's been dropping of late, and he still doesn't get a look in. I don't understand why he doesn't drop Faisal Patash in that side. Even bring him on 60th minute of half an hour to go, give him a run out. That must be really frustrating for him.
Honestly,
I just don't get it with Cameron. I understand he's the captain and whatever, but that doesn't mean he's got the license to play whenever he plays bad.
by all means, experience earns you captaincy normally. You know, you're the most experienced player in the team. You've been around long enough. You know the ins and outs and all that. But if you're not playing well, a captaincy should not guarantee you, a start in place.
Definitely.
I mean, I mentioned earlier to a group on Instagram that you know very well about Batashi when he played for Billericay on loan. I went to see Billericay away to some team in South London, Hamlets, Dulwich Hamlets. That's it. He was playing in that game, and he literally bossed midfield. You could see the quality. So like a young lad coming from a championship side, going to a national South team. He literally bossed the whole of the midfield. And I said at the time to my mate, I said, he's definitely one for our future. And then, end of last season, he started coming in more and more and featuring. And again, I thought he was exceptional.
I completely agree. I've got an interesting comment from Fred Trinder. If Batash is any good, he'd have played by now. Now, I understand your point. They see Batash a lot more than we do. But from what he showed at the end of last season, he looked a very good player. It's a bright spark. He could do a lot in that older midfield. He was disciplined, and he wasn't afraid to go forward and play, and take a risk and play a forward pass. So I think that's what we need right now. But yeah, I mean, it's a fair point. But I definitely think he deserves a chance. I definitely do.
Yeah, and I think, it goes to show that when he brought on Thomas the other week, he's clearly not fit enough.
No,
he seemed to gain so much weight. He was nowhere near the ball, and when he did get the ball, he always gave it away. And you're like, I know he's come back from injury, bless him. And when he first played for us, the first game or whatever, he looks great. But obviously, this injury is affecting him at the moment. So don't try and rush a player back, or if a player's not fit enough physically, give Batashi a go, because at the end of the day, what's there to lose at the moment? Because we've got no plan B. It's not looking great at the moment. So what is there to lose other than giving somebody a chance to try and turn those fortunes around?
Absolutely. And on the same lines of that, I think, look, it's hard to say as well, because I think Bon really hasn't started many games, he's gone off the bench, but when he has, he's not been good enough for me. And I don't see why Kelman isn't also given a chance as well. Just give him a run out. He offers something different.
This is it. It was funny enough. I just see a comment pop up. I think it was Ed Taylor had said, is Warburton allergic to two up front? And that, to me, I thought the whole reason we brought Bon in, along with Dykes, was to play two up front. Because you've got little and large. How many times over the years? I mean, not everybody watching, and possibly not even you, mate, would know that some of the strike partners we've had over the years have been little and large. That's how it works. You get the big geezer to bring the ball down and lay it through to the smaller player to score. Now, it's not always worked with QPR, I know that, but what's the problem with giving this a go? I think we've only seen it once or twice, maybe.
I think, they tried it with Matt Smith and Connor Washington. A couple of games that worked. I remember the perfect game, though. Matt Smith and Paul Smith at Cardiff at home.
Yes,
you guys remember that Paul Smith debut?
The Jockey was down the wing, wasn't he?
Yeah.
That was a brilliant game, that was. Yeah, because he was. That's why. So for some of you that don't know, I actually call Paul Smith Jockey because A, he's really small, and B, he's Irish. So, to me, he's like a little jockey, like the way he's riding that horse down a wing, But that's the thing. Again, he's another player who's not really been given a chance.
No,
what's he got to do?
Cormac White to bring back Paul Smith. Warburton just doesn't rate him. He can't do. He's been here 2.5 seasons now, and well, not quite 2.5 seasons, but coming into his sort of second full season as a QPR manager, and he just keeps sending him out on loan. So obviously, maybe he sees something we don't. Again with Batash, but everything I've seen from Paul Smith, I've been a fan of. Even in pre-season, he's just so direct. He gets that ball and he charges at the back line.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, I'm like, you just hit the nail on the head, and it just pops another idea into my head that, something about him that Warbs doesn't like. Now, we see that with Paul Smith. We've sort of seen that with Batashi, but Leinster, now, everyone has their views on Leinster. They either loved him or hated him or whatever. Yeah. But at one point when he was playing in the side, he was our best centre-back. Right, and yet Warbs still wouldn't give him the time of day. And you've got to think, what are you seeing, or what do you know about these players that we obviously don't, to come to the conclusion that they're not right for the team or your style of team? Because from what we're watching, especially from the stands, when you're seeing it, week in, week out, they're the best players on the pitch.
Yeah, and it's an interesting point because obviously, like I mentioned, they see him week in, week out on the training pitch and in training. But at the end of the day, we're all about the end product. If they're putting it in a match day, what we're seeing, then that's all that matters. They may not be the best trainer. They may not set the training pitch alight. But if they're putting in a good performance that we think is better than the current starting players, then that warrants them to be in and around that first team squad. But Warburton, he seems to take like quite a firm stance. He doesn't. Once he's kind of made of his opinion, that's kind of it, I feel. So
does he remind you of any previous manager we've had recently?
What, for that exact reason?
Where they have that stance, and I know what I'm doing, even though the ship is sinking.
Or McLaren?
The fact you said his name and I didn't have to say anything, it does seem to. I mean, I don't know what the peeps think, but to me, it's starting to get a bit like McLaren now with their excuses, and actually even.
Don't get me started on his post-match interviews.
Jimmy Floyd, that's all.
Yeah,
another one. The excuses, the lottery of teams, the no plan B, we played really well. We just wasn't good enough in the. Well, if we're not good enough in the final third, why is that? Well, it's because obviously you're not setting the training right. You've either not got the right staff in to train the attackers. It's patience have worn very thin with a lot of people now over his post-match reviews, and the fact that we're just failing. We're failing to do the simple tasks.
Completely agree. Ed Taylor's just pounced on that. Warburton is too stubborn and predictable. It's absolutely pathetic. 4-3-2-1 every game, identical, clueless subs. Now, I completely agree. He did shock me today. I always tweet out about it every single game. It's always in the 70th minute or so. He brings on all these subs, and it's too late. The game's gone by then. We're dying out. Today, for the first time, he did actually make subs. I even wrote it down on my notes. 56 minutes he did on the clock, and he brought on Ball and Willock. Now, that did surprise me. That was the earliest I think he's done probably all season.
I think the reason he brought on Ball was because I'd already put on Instagram how long in do we send out the search party for Tom Carroll? Because
no, see, you've been slating Carroll of late, and I'm not a fan of that. I think Carroll has been class the last couple of games.
Where is he in the second half? Where is he in the second half? He's never.
He keeps just ticking. Right. Everyone, put in the comments now. What do you think of Tom Carroll? Because I think he's been underrated of late. I think he does his out ball compared to Cameron is a completely different level. Let's have a look. We've got Nick Evans. Carroll has been good. I mean, what can you expect from someone that he's been out of contract? His match fitness hasn't been there. But I think of late he has been one of our best players, as Samuel said there. I feel like you might be a little bit harsh on him.
All right, well, no, I'll just say my piece here, right? in the first half of most games, yes. You've only got to go back and watch my Instagram story for half time for the last game. Make sure you go follow Pblockscudze on Instagram. No, but I said he has been our best player. He was brilliant. He was bossing the midfield. At the ball, he was going left, right, up, down. wherever he needed to go, he was completely throwing them. Second half, poof, he was gone. He was nowhere. He didn't have that same intensity. He didn't have the same balls. It was like after time, I'm watching it on the screen, and I'm like, where is Carroll? Like, he's not had a touch of the ball in himself. I don't get me wrong. No, he is in the first half of most games. I massively love him, but he goes missing in the second half.
He does ease off. I will give you that. But I just feel like Ball and Cameron are very...
Edward Vine. Sorry. Edward Vine. Thank you very much.
There we go. But we have to get two sides of the argument. We can deal with that. But interesting. Do you know what? I was about to come on to another point there, but this is an interesting point from Jay Bakes. We're missing Amos. Now, I keep on seeing this on Twitter, and I was having a good think about it the other day. Do we miss? I think I would prefer to have Amos in the side over Cameron. I feel like Amos and Carroll was quite dynamic in midfield. I feel like, but then at the same time, Amos isn't. He's not the last holding centre midfielder. He gets out, he presses, he works hard, and I feel like that will kind of be unbalanced. I feel like you do need Ball or Cameron in that lineup, and then you need either a Carroll or an Amos. I feel like you do need a Ball or Cameron in that midfield. What do you make of that stance?
Yeah, no, actually, Jay Bake's bringing this up. I had, in a way, forgotten about Amos, bless him.
Yeah, I think everyone I saw it on Twitter. I don't through me.
But if you go back and watch the last 4 games of the second half of last season, in that just after that lockdown period, he was playing a much more attacking role. And he was actually being quite creative. And I remember saying at the time, I was like, where has this guy been? All the time we've had him, we've never seen this creativity or this attackingness from Amos sort of thing. So actually, yeah, in a way, maybe if he was obviously match fit and everything, him a Ball in midfield, I think that could work. I honestly do think that could work. As I say, don't get me wrong, I love Tom Carroll in the first half. I know I'm not trying to go back to this argument, but Tom Carroll in the first half, he's one of those players. He's making the passes. He's linking up well with Chair. He's linking up well with Osei or Willock, whoever's on that side. And that's what you sort of need. And that's the sort of player that Amos is, but he does it across the whole pitch for the 90 minutes.
You had to get in there, but.
I had to.
You touched on a good point, because I did actually forget that he played Amos in the 10. I wasn't the biggest fan of that. I do like what Amos brings to the side, but I just feel like he hasn't got the creativity needed to play that 10. I think Chair plays him much better. But I do think we miss we do miss Amos. And sorry, this did crack me up. And the comment has just slipped my eye, and it did. There we go. Bond for 2 million might be worse than Maguire for 80. Can you actually believe you paid £2 million for Bond? I just don't get it. I don't get what this. I don't get.
Do you know what? Did I tell you? Sorry, mate, I was just going to say. Did I tell you about what one of my mates said, who's a Charlton fan?
I think you did say something. Yeah, I remember you saying now. Go on. Enlighten the viewers.
He misses more than he scores, or something.
Yeah.
Basically, I think he said he messaged me and said oh, so you're going for Bond? And I said, yeah, what's he like? And he said, yeah, he misses... he misses more than he scores, or he misses the same amount that he scores. And I went, so is that a bad thing? And he went, I'll let you say, just give us the 2 million. And yeah. Again, though, is he getting the service?
I mean, it's a good point. With the wingers, we are playing a dynamic front line with Adoma and Samuel on either wing. We should be getting chances into our strikers, but it's just beyond me. The crossing is in the side and do you know this? Sorry, just before you come on to your point, this really bugs me. Every single game, set pieces and corners, we're absolutely shambolic. When was the last time? Okay, let's just forget the Barbe one against who was that? Coventry, but I don't remember the last time we scored from a corner. I don't. No, are you laughing at me or a comment? I feel like
No. It came up. It came up. It came up on Instagram the other day. When was the last time he scored from a corner? And Gino Padula actually scored directly from a corner, and that was back 2002, something like that. I'm kidding. Well, he did actually score from a corner. No, but you're right. You're right. I mean, it's just terrible. It's not beating the first man. It's either it's going straight to the keeper's arms, or it's overshooting. In fact, it was Masterson's first goal for us, wasn't it, against Millwall, end of last season. That was probably about the last time we scored from a corner.
Yeah, but it's from set pieces as well. Like we're just trying to overdo it, and when we take it short, there's a couple of times to take it short today, and we just didn't get the ball in the box. We lost the ball. Just put it in a dangerous area. I think Chair should be taken off corners. I think put Carroll on it. I don't see why Chair's still on him. To be honest,
well, yeah, and at the same time, can we take Barb out off of free kicks?
Oh my god!
I mean, I'm not being funny. I've got two dodgy knees. I haven't played football in I don't know, 20 odd years or whatever. I don't even know now. Even I could hit a bloody free kick better than he could.
It's horrendous.
And I'm only Pblockscudze, I'm only good for one thing.
I remember it though. One of the things I did agree with Nick London actually. I think it was early in the season, and what I'm saying now, Barbie, his free kick just skimmed the post, outside of the post, and he said, since his time in a QPR shirt, that's the closest he's ever come to scoring a free kick. How is it like? If I was another player in that side, I'd just be like, look, mate, you've had enough of those. It's time to give someone else a go. You've never scored. It's not been good enough. Just give someone else a go. But
it's all well and good being on the training pitch, kicking balls over the top of metal silhouette cutout things, but doing it on the game, it's a completely different thing.
Yeah. Now, this is what I've got written down right here. I've got on my notes, Dickie, man of the match. I think Dickie was phenomenal today. Edward Vine said, I'd say Dickie was worth every penny. He is a fantastic championship player, I feel. Oh, what's that face? You disagree?
You reckon Dickie was man of the match today?
I thought Dickie was class today. His distribution was phenomenal. He put us straight on the front foot. Every time he got the ball, straight into the attacking players. I'm not even going to back down to this one. I thought Dickie was class today. I thought Dickie was class.
No. Hey, look, we're great to disagree, but I did.
Well, that's the point. We're here to debate. What do you guys make of it?
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine. He scares me. He scares me a lot.
Really?
There are so many times. I mean, we've only got to look at, him getting sent off, giving away penalties. He's so sus. And
he is. Okay, I will give you that. He can put an elbow in the wrong place, and he can pull a player down. I think he is going to give quite a few penalties away, but I like Nick Evans says that. I think he is our best centre back, without a doubt. I'm really happy with the acquisition with Dickie, to be perfectly honest.
See, I mean, I think Barb, out of the choices we've got, I would say Barber is the better. I'm not saying by any means is he the greatest defender in the world, but I think he's a better option.
Really? Fair enough.
But with Dickie's, I mean, even QPR said to me, he said, when is someone going to tell Dickie to keep the elbow down? Because he keeps using it. He gets away with it a lot, but he also gets caught out of it. To me, he's another one that needs some guidance. I think that's the problem at the moment, is because it's such a young team, there's not the right guidance system in there.
Yeah, I agree with Bakes again. Dickie is very flat-footed. I think Barbie and Dickie must be the slowest centre-back partnership in the league. They're so slow.
They're not exactly, Well, they know Clark Carlisle and Danny Shittu, that's for sure.
Well, they're a different breed. They come in their own category.
Yeah, exactly, mate. You
remember back to Blackburn? Armstrong turned them inside out. His pace, they could not cope. I mean, they're both very good in the air. But apart from when it comes to corners, because we can't defend the corner. But I do think they're good at this level, and I think Dickey is a bit of a raw diamond. I feel like once we polish him up, I think he will come very good. He has got the raw attributes. His distribution is very good. He's good on the ball. He's good in the air. But yeah, I think he'll come very good for us. I think he'll be a big player for us going forward. Oh
yeah, no, I mean by no means am I knocking him. Oops, I'm not knocking him at all. Like, don't get me wrong, there is positives with him. Yeah, he's strong and he does have good games by all means. It's just he worries me, and I didn't think he had a good game today. He almost got us caught out in the first half. But no, again, he's another player. He's a young player. He's come from League One. He's not going to be the finished article by any means.
Not yet.
The reason he's come to us is to progress.
Yeah. That's spot on. I agree with that. Right, I feel like it's time to address the elephant in the room. I feel like, and the question is just coming as I've said that, literally just as I said that. What are your opinions on Mark Warburton? Do you want him out? If so, who comes in? Bon, you go first. You run with it.
Hold on, let me wet my whistle because this could be a long one. Okay. And I'm going to need that as well. I have been an advocate for Warburton. Many a times when people have said to me, he's got to go, is this? No, give him a chance. Yeah. Give him a chance. He's got this.
All right, everyone get in the comments. Run up all your comments. Sorry to interrupt. Warburton in or out. Yeah. Warburton out, Warburton in. Carry on.
Yeah. I can see, I've spoken to some people about why they think we should keep him and why we should get rid of him, and there are different points, and some points are very valid. For me personally, it is about time to start thinking about a new manager. I think we have gone as far as we can with Warburton. When he came in, by all means, he was brilliant. He turned the team around 100%. But you look at the people or the players that we've lost, and we've brought in quite a lot. Considering we've got no money, and we've just seen no progression now. We seem to have come to a standstill with him, and he doesn't have a plan B. It's the same old story. If we go 1-0 down, right, let's throw on all the attack players that we've got on the bench to try and get a goal back. Or it's 0-0. Let's just sit it out, lads. Let's just get the draw. There's no, I don't know, here anymore for me, and I've lost faith in him. In terms of who to come in, I would like. I mean, Gareth Ainsworth's obviously a name that's always going to get thrown about, and I wouldn't disagree with it, but he's only had one, not even a whole season in the Championship. So who's to say what's happening at Wickham doesn't happen to us? I know there's a difference in terms of the monetary they've got and we've got, but I'd like to see how he gets out of Wickham out of the relegation zone or as close as possible. The only other name I would really like to see is Eddie Howe, because he's really good with young players. And he's done it in the Prem and he's done it in the Championship. So for me, I'd probably say my first choice would be Eddie Howe, but if not, then Gaza.
Yeah, you made quite a few points there. I'm just going to claw back. I think one resounding point I think you made was you've lost faith in him, and for me that kind of sums up my stance. I think we saw a lot of improvement last year, and if you watch my season review, I was a big advocate of Warburton, and I do feel sorry for that. I'm kind of drifting away from that point because I feel like the cards he've been dealt have been a dire pack. We lost big players. This season, I know the thing with last season is that he kind of had a free pass. He had no money to spend. He was only really given loans and free transfers. This season, we sold Eze for about 16, maybe reported rising to 19 million, but he has had money to spend this season. He's bought in Bourne, he's bought in Dykes, he bought in Dickey, he bought in Willock. They were all, he all paid half decent money for them, and he's just not making it happen. We're not improving. We're declining. That's 2 points from 6 games now, and we've only won 4 times this season. That's not good enough. That is not good enough. We've got exciting young players. No. And I don't really think the last few games we really haven't had the most difficult running. And to get 2 points from 6 games is abysmal, if I'm perfectly honest. Now, I just touched upon what I said at the start of this. I said they had 2 games left to turn it round. One more against Wickham. I think if we lose against Wickham, that's it. Got to go. There's a couple of people I'm just going for. I'd say about 70% out, and there's still a few ins. I'm on that tipping point now. Like I say, one more nail in the coffin, and I think that's it. It's time to go. We're just not improving, and it's simple as that. We're not getting results.
No, I mean, I just want to see why the people that think he should stay is what's their reasoning, because they may obviously they'll see it from a different point of view.
Let us know if you commented in. We've got Fred Trinder, James Hiller, Samuel. There's quite a few still saying in. What is your reason still to keep Warburton in? What do you think? I'm quite interested because I do kind of flirt with both sides, but I feel like I'm tipping over now. There's a lot of people out. Such an uninspiring football. Completely agree. It's so disheartening to dominate games, and not come away with the result you deserve. And that's simply down to just being poor in front of goal, and it's got to change. And they're Warburton's players now. He's brought in all these players.
Exactly. And that I've gotten fed up of saying it year after year after year, where it's all well and good having 60, 70, 80, 90% possession all game, but unless you're scoring goals, you're not going to win the game. No. It's all well and good playing this tippy-tappy football and getting all the possession in the world, but at the end of the day, that doesn't put the points on the board.
Spot on. That's all it comes down to at the end of the day. But this is the one factor that I was thinking about the other day. This is the only kind of reason why I kind of hold off sacking Warburton is who would actually want to come to QPR, who would want to, become a manager with the transfer budget we have. Okay, yes, this season it has been a spike. The last few seasons, I think it's four transfer windows where you spent 50k, bar the last one. Our squad, look, it's a difficult squad to manage. We've got quite a few young players, not the most experienced heads, and we're not in a great position right now. We're in a bad run of form. Even the wage that the manager get paid is probably subpar to a lot of other teams in the league. I know you mentioned Eddie Howe, but I just do not see Eddie Howe wanting to come to QPR. A lot of people saying Nigel Pearson. I don't think he'd want to come to QPR. I just don't see who we'd get, to be honest. Chuck some names in the comments who you think is a reasonable appointment.
Yeah. I mean, the other thing is that you highlighted there about, the youngsters. The problem is, at the moment, we've got... I mean, Ose's not signed a new contract, so he's all but gone. Chair's been playing so well that someone will come in for him. Some of these young players, they are attracting interest because of the lovely tippy-tappy football. If we start selling them we become the breeder club, we will end up with nothing, and we will end up going down and down. And so people like Eddie Howe aren't going to want to come to the club because they're like, well, hold on, I'm working with these youngsters to build him up to put us in a better position. If you're now selling him a year on because he's had a good season, what were you expecting me to do with what I've got left? So. Yeah, no, you're right. Who would want to come at the moment?
I've got 2 points I want to run with here. I'm going to go first one. I keep on seeing this everywhere. Barton Hill. I'm not sure how I feel about it. I feel like it's another backward step. I feel like at this point where we've got a lot of young players that are kind of crucial turning points in their career. I think Chair's a prime example. Willock needs to kick on now. He's coming to kind of crucial point, I think. And I just feel like these guys haven't got the experience of turning these younger season, these pros into the finished article. Look, they bring the passion back, which is what we did with Holloway and Bircham, but it didn't really kick us on. I feel like, for me, I don't feel like that's the right appointment yet. What do you make of Barton and Hill?
Completely agree, mate. Don't get me wrong, I absolutely love Barton and Hill.
I absolutely love them both a bit, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to see him at the club managing. Again, though, a bit like Gareth Ainsworth. Don't get me wrong, Ainsworth's got the experience now as manager. Don't get me wrong, he has. But whereas Barton and Hill haven't. They've only been in the job, says second season, I think it is. I think it's only their second season. I could be wrong, but basically, again, they don't have the experience, and they're working at Fleetwood, which is another. Don't get me wrong, club's probably similar to us. Has got no money.
Probably more than us.
Yeah, probably. But it's League One football, and that's completely different from Championship. And I just don't know. I think Barton would lose his head too easy. With some of the players we've got at the moment, he's a very strong character, and he'll want strong players. And I just don't see our squad at the moment those sort of players that would play for Barton.
They're not Barton. You make a good point there. We've got a lot of these tippy-tappy, nice, stylish footballers, and I don't really think the fit Barton's kind of.
That's not Barton, is it?
No. I think you make a good point there. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say he's the sort of guy that he wants you to go in and crunch someone, not do Rabonas over everybody. So
no, I think in the queue of ex-QPR fan players, I think Ainsworth will be next, and I think then maybe further down the line. But I still think Ainsworth isn't quite ready yet. I don't think he is. I feel like we need an experienced Championship manager. I don't know. I'm really. A lot of people saying Paul Cook. I don't think that would be a bad option, but it's a tough one. Honestly, I would not want to be on the board of directors now trying to pick a new manager, because I just don't see. I don't see what manager of a quality I'd like that'd want to kick us on. So, Wenger.
Wenger, yeah. Getting out of retirement.
Right, a quick point now I'm just going to make. So I've put Ops now, but I don't so far. I don't know if you guys saw Kevin Gallen's tweet. I think it was about half time. He said, "If I put on a QPR shirt and do a couple QP uppies, do I get a 2-year contract?" And that kind of feels like he's mugged us off right now.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. His first couple of games, brilliant, outstanding, and then he went off the ball a bit. And all right, he hasn't been picked recently, but got picked today. And I thought he's got to come into this side, the starting 11, and go right. No, this is why I should be in the team. His touch was off. It was so heavy.
Yeah, his touch was very poor today.
He just didn't look like he was in the zone at all. Even when he got taken off, you just see it just didn't look like he was in the stadium. He just looks a bit lost. It worried me a little bit, because when you look at somebody like that, something's not right mentally. So it did worry me. Is he struggling at the moment mentally? Like, is it all like Sometimes the problem is, because sometimes the problem is you get so excited about something, you get so worked up, and you're like, and then
trying too hard.
When you have a moment to breathe, and that too. So I hope he turns it around. I really do, because there's nothing better than having a player play for your team and supports the club. At the same time, again, it doesn't warrant you a starting place. If you want to be on start 11, the football's got to do the talking at the end of the day.
And I think, to be honest, another person that's getting a free pass is Samuel. I think his performance wasn't good enough today. I think Willock deserves to come in and start ahead of him. So I feel like he does give Samuel his free pass. I mean, do you know what was quite interesting? I can't remember who mentioned it to me. You look at how we track. I know this is going quite far back now. Tracking back, Manning and Samuel in the exact same position. They both didn't sign contracts. Manning was told he was not allowed to play. So was Samuel, but Samuel's got put back in the starter lineup. Manning wasn't. He's got this special treatment with Samuel. He doesn't play well enough. He still gets put in the side. Doesn't sign a contract. He still gets put in the side. He knows he can walk all over us. So obviously that's just another frustrating thing about Warburton.
No, hold up. Let me just add that to the list of players that seem to get special treatment from Warburton, because it's building up. It's building up very much.
Might need your other hand for that as well.
Yeah, I might have to. No, I mean, just quickly, I want to go back on to the whole, sorry, Samuel. One thing I would say, yeah, tonight he didn't have a very good game. I do think he was slightly affected by the previous game where he picked up that knock late on. But, there was at one point, he put in the cross to the cross to Dykes when Dykes should have scored, but there was a bit of a bobble.
Yeah, that was
It was almost when he put that cross in, I was like, it's Brentford all over again.
yeah.
This cross is going in, and Dykes is smashing it in the back of the net. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. But there was a couple of crosses that were good. But my issue with Samuel at the moment, my main issue, and I don't know what you think of this, he doesn't cross when he should be crossing. His
decision making
taking too many extra touches or trying to take on too many extra people.
Yeah.
There are times where he should be 1-2 cross. Instead, he's going 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh no! Now I've got no option, so I've got to go back and put the ball into the bloody box. Simple. That's the whole point of having Dykes in there.
Yeah. No, you're completely spot on. I think there was a chance late in the second half. We're attacking the loft end, and Willock nods it through to Samuel, and he tries opening up his right foot, and he literally passes it straight back to the keeper. He should be pulling that across the 6-yard box. But yeah, frustrating. There's one point it's just slipping. We said Wolverhampton in fans, get your points in. Two people here making a very Nick Oliver. Because he didn't have the players, it's just a lack of quality in the squad. And there's another one here. Warburton in, it's not his fault to lose Eze, Hugo, and Wells. Linden needs to step up his game, and Warburton can't get the players we need for the tight budget we have. But I was thinking about this earlier. Do you simply think it is? Like, Warburton is getting us playing this style of football with these players on a limited budget, albeit. We're playing expansive football. We are making a few chances. Look, we have a high expected goals. If you look at that as those sort of statistics. But the players, you could just argue that the players are just not good enough. That, sometimes they should be... Warburton can't do everything for them. Don't get me wrong, he's the manager and everything, but sometimes I feel like the players just lack that creativity in the final third where they should be, I don't know, just doing more themselves. Do you think that's kind of come into it, or do you think it's purely Warburton?
See, I mean, again, you make the point you're saying. To me, it's crystal clear. If the players aren't good enough and they're not making the right decisions in the final third, and they're not ones taking chances, why is Warburton picking that team? Why is Warburton picking that formation? Why is Warburton picking those tactics? Like you say, he can't do everything for them, but at the same time, he's the one telling them, right, Chair, I want you to do this, and Hugo, Dykes, you get there, and Osei, you do this, and I want everyone else to stay back. At the end of the day, all the decisions, and don't get me wrong, there are times when a manager gets sacked, it is wrong that he's got sacked. It's down to the players. But at the same time, you've got to think, well, the person sending those players out there, the person that's giving those players the instructions, the person that should be coaching them, on the training pitch, right, let's run through this. Hold on, if it hasn't worked 2, 3, 4 weeks in a row, you go back to the training pitch and go, right, guys, we're going to try something else. But at the moment, it seems to be the players go into training every day and it's the same. I mean, I could be completely wrong, but it seems to be the same drills, the same tactics. Go out on a Saturday or Tuesday and do the same thing and you get the same result.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Just coming back to a point you made a second ago, Django has actually made a very good point.
Jingle.
Is far too greedy and is trying to look good for his Premier League move. Now, I think you could be onto something here. He's trying to do absolutely everything himself. He's not looking up. He's not passing when he should be. He's not crossing when he should be. He's being too greedy. Like I said, he's cutting in and out, too many touches, trying to shoot himself. And I feel like that kind of is in the back of his mind. He knows he's not going to be a QPR player next season. He's thinking, where am I going to end up? I need to score this goal, put it on my show reel, and I feel like you're onto something there.
Well, do you know what? The way you just said that, I actually took the mindset of his agent, right? Now, obviously, his agent knows wherever he's going to the Prem or whatever, he's going to get a lovely bit of Wonga, yeah? So if Boss isn't, if he's being too greedy, he's not making the crosses when he should, he's not getting the goals or this, that and the other, surely his agent should be going, hold on, everyone else can see he's being really greedy and he's not doing the right things. Well, this is what the Prem teams are going to look at and go, well, he's not going to fit our team if he, I'm not being funny. Is Harry Kane really going to give him the seal of approval if he's not getting a crossing from Osei? He's not going to Tottenham playing like that, that's for sure. So he needs to think about that one, I think, long and hard. And again, I still believe he should do the right thing. Sign the contract. Sign the ting, as they all say. Sign the ting. Get your move. Get us some money. Don't be a greedy bastard. Yeah. Sorry, I should have said that. But stop being greedy. Help us all out. We'll help you out. We at the end of the day, we don't want to hold him back. We want him to go on and do better things. Look how many QPR supporters now watch Crystal Palace games when Easy's playing. I know. What is he?
If you treat us right, then we'll still hold you in good regard. But he's not going the right way about it.
Exactly. I even when Les Ferdinand went to Newcastle, even though I wasn't really I wasn't the QPR fan I am now, I had an away Newcastle shirt because of Les Ferdinand being at Newcastle. Because at the end of the day, you treat the club well, you're going to look out for your players still. You're going to support them. I mean, look at Gareth Ainsworth. It's another one. Ever since Gareth went to Wickham, everyone has said, yeah, we like Wickham, we like Wickham. We love Gareth. And even this season, even though they're in the same league, you still want them to do all right, don't you?
Yeah. I feel like if you treat all we want you to do is work hard, play for the club, and if you outgrow us and we think you're better than QPR, we let you go and we'll hold you in high regard. Samuel's not going the right way about it. And I think it's going to be a bit of a sour ending, I feel. So he's only got himself to blame, really.
Mate, look at the 3 videos we brought out. I mean, we don't do positive with QPR, do
we? Yeah, that's very true. Right. Everyone, let's get your final questions in now. Guys. Yeah, you got a plug. Get your final questions in now, and then we'll get this rounded up.
Charlie, sorry, mate. Can I just want to say one thing? Otherwise, I'll get told off. I just want to say a big shout out to my boy Rudy. Peace, man.
Just watched Warburton's interview. I thought we started well and dominated the play. Defensively, we worked well as a unit, and we were unlucky not to win. Same old, same old. I'm not surprised. Do you know what? I'm religious when it comes to interviews and content the QPR page put out. Every single interview, whether that be player, manager, I watch every single one. I've not watched a single Warburton post-match interview this season, and that's freak for me. I'm usually sitting there a bit sad after each game, refreshing the QPR site, waiting for the interviews to come in. I do not care when Warburton's interviews go out. I don't watch it. I've had enough. I could watch one from the game last year and it'd be saying the same things.
Do you know what? I think I want to come up with something. I may need help from either yourself or somebody watching. I actually want to come up with a bingo card. Putting down quotes on a bingo card and watching the next interview and seeing, just ticking them off. We created chances. We should have won. We were unlucky.
Thank you for the content idea. That'll become to the YouTube channel soon.
Full ass. Yeah. Into YouTube bingo, isn't it? With Warburton. Yeah. Oh, it is though. It is. It's the same old crap. It's the same old crap he comes out with, and it's even to the point of after Saturday's game, it came up about his interview, and I went, I just cannot be bothered. I know exactly what he's going to say. It's the same crap every week, and it's boring. It's absolutely boring. And again, he's got no plan B. He's got no plan B on the pitch, and he's got no plan B in his interviews. He can't admit fault. He can't say, actually, we were crap, we didn't deserve to win. I'm really sick and tired of my players not converting the chances, etc. It's the same drivel he comes out with, and again, that's just not good enough.
No, it's not. You just think though, like his post-match interviews must be like that. What are his team talks like? The players must be thinking, "Okay, now here we go again."
It's like getting out an old Bible and like blowing the dust off the book. Hymn number 53 from Mark Warburton. We created chances. We should have won the
game. He must be like a pre-recording. He must like just he doesn't even bother going to the change room. He walks in, presses play, he walks out. Like, I think it is. I think it's really getting close to time for change for me.
Yeah, I mean, let's say, if the final nail in the coffin isn't Saturday, if we lose to Wickham on Saturday,
that's it.
That's got to be the final nail in the coffin. They cannot come up with any more excuses for him. You can't blame solely the players and their lack of quality. You can't blame the club for not having enough money. You know, we've been in more dire situations than this. I know I bang on about it a lot because it is my favourite period of being a QPR fan. But Ian Holloway, back in the old Division 2, had loanees and freebies that weren't of good quality. We had no money. We were going out of business, and he still got us out of division.
Yeah. So there you go. Well, just a quick final note. Make sure everyone watching now, you subscribe to the Talking Rangers YouTube channel. We are very, very close to hitting the 1,000 subscriber milestone. There will be a giveaway when we do hit it. We are 10 off now. Just checked. 10 subscribers off. So,
is it 10?
10 off.
Oh, so my G!
Come on, everyone. Everyone share the channel. Come on. 10 away from 1,000.
Hey, guys, go and get your nan and granddads to sign up to YouTube and just like hit subscribe, even if it's the only channel they've got. Go and get this boy to 1,000. He's the GOAT now. He is the GOAT. So, yeah.
No, well, thank you for everyone who's been subscribing and following all the way. I think that's probably a wrap for the stream now. I think we've been over nearly an hour. We've covered a lot of topics. We've taken our stance on Warburton in or out. A massive thank you to the main man, Pblockscudze, for joining us this evening.
No, thank you, dude.
Thank you to everyone for jumping in the stream. It's been a lot of fun. There'll be a few more of them come to the channel soon. So make sure you get everyone to subscribe, stick around, and thank you very much for joining the live stream.
And as always,
come on, you Ars.
Come on, you Ars.
See you in the next one. Thanks, folks. Come on, you Ars.
Peace.